What's up, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back. Jeff here. And what's really funny is that sometimes people, even if in your life right now, if you think that you are not where you want to be at, or you think you're not that special or important, I mean, if you're like me, you know that you've answered the call to God. So, in a way, you are on a path that other people are not, and because of that, your greater is coming. But at the same time, you know that you're not there where you want to be at yet. You know you're meant to do something great in this life, but you're not there yet. You haven't done the great thing. All right. Um, your mileage may vary with that, but it's funny because you may go back to my original point here. You may not view yourself as that great person yet, even though it's your destiny. But other people already want to be you because they know you're going somewhere. All right, they know you're going somewhere in places that you may not even know. Yes, you, right? Right. So when they come in your presence, whether it's wherever you are, a gathering, a work, or friend group, maybe even family, they will put people around you. They will try and triangulate you to make you kind of like want to suck up to them and want to put them on a pedestal. When in reality, it's their projection of putting you on a pedestal and they don't want to. They don't even know why they're doing it. Well, I guess I kind of just said in a way, they already know that you're going somewhere, possibly, but it's subconscious. They don't consciously know that, okay? And so, my whole point I wanted to share in this video is that you are, you know, you're a child of God. You know, you picked up that phone and answered the call, right? Many are called, chosen are few. You know you're that person. You know you're that servant. When you see yourself in these situations, yet you still remain humble. You still don't play their games. You don't outmaneuver them. You don't manipulate them back. You don't do the whole fire with fire thing, right? Um, and each time that happens, yes, it's not comfortable, but you overcome it each way to where it gets easier and easier to just stay true to yourself and your frame and your groundedness with who you are, despite these, um, I'm just gonna call them, you know, all, I'm feeling in a good mood today. I'm gonna say spiritual urchins or something, right? I guess they're energy vampires, but that term is, I feel like it's too common. So I'm gonna go with spiritual urchins, okay? Because it is spiritual warfare. Um, and so I just wanted to get that out of the way. Now, moving on to my next point. Have you ever gone somewhere in public and you realize that everyone is staring at you the moment you walk inside like the place? And you try to look busy because you know that everyone's going to be looking at you. So you try and blend in, you try and like look at your phone or something, right? You try and look like you're occupied, right? Like you're not trying to cause a disturbance. But what I have found is it's in those moments of you trying not to cause a disturbance. I'll speak from in first person here. When I walk into those places trying not to cause a disturbance, it actually it defeats the purpose because 9 times out of 10, it just makes me stand out more. So then I do my business and leave the place more frustrated than when I walked in. But I had to go there because I had to get stuff done, like the grocery store, or um, man, it could be simple stuff like the gas station. There are times when I pulled up and I don't even want to get out of the car because the gas station's crowded and it's full and like, you know, I just know the second I start pumping gas, someone's gonna pull up behind me or over there and just start going on some shit. Like just start talking really loud or, you know, just trying to get attention because they're in the presence of, you know, they're in the presence of a king. They're in the presence of um, a child of God that has something special on their head. And this is nothing out of pride here. Like uh, if you're like me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. How I feel in those moments because you're experiencing it too. And this has happened our entire lives pretty much. We've been through a lot. We've been through the most sickening experiences, and we've also had to deal with really, really, really bad forms of abuse and such, whether it's family, friends, in the classroom, in school. Um, um, that all, for example, all those things that have happened to me, I've just grown up to just get used to it. And like I said, to try and blend in and make sure I be humble because the more I know, I've said in the few past videos that we gotta let our light shine. We can't, uh, God has our destiny painted out for us, and that destiny requires us to be authentic and let our light shine and not hide it under, you know, a bush, right? But what I have found is this is what makes the journey so challenging and precious at the same time, is because when we let the light shine, the more and more um, BS we deal with as that light gets brighter and our true authentic selves always come through. Um, so that's really the main point I wanted to make in this video. Um, yeah, it's like a catch 22, but well, I'm gonna share what I do to remedy my life and to cancel stuff out in general, to cancel out the negativity. What I do is I try to limit my interactions with family as much as possible. Not because I hate them or I don't care about them or I don't love them. It's because it's actually the other way around. See, if you're like me, you see people for who you want them to be, but not for who they truly are, and you do that because you can't help it. I do that because I can't help it. I don't go out there necessarily looking for evil in people and saying, okay, that person's gonna hurt me. That person is a red flag right off the bat because they're gonna sense who I am. They're gonna sense my spirit. They're gonna sense my energy, and they're gonna immediately swoop in. Yes, that happens, but I don't. Every time I leave or every time I interact with family, I automatically don't think that about them because it's not in my nature. And maybe if you're the same way, yeah, it's not in your nature either. And that's why people always try to like come at you. All right. So how I remedy that is I limit interactions with family. When I go outside, I just try and look busy. I try and not look like a target, even though I know 85, 90% of the time someone's going to try and come up and do something. And if they don't come up to me, they're going to try and do it from afar. And or when I go to the checkout stand, something's going to happen there. All right, it's just how it is. Go to the gas station, put the pump in my car, and then something just, you know, if you're like me, you see what I mean. Again, I don't have social media, as I've said before, but if you have social media, you out there who are chosen by God, you'll experience that on social media, I'm sure. There are different ways to do it. In fact, a long time ago, I think I had Snapchat. That's the only, I had Snapchat and Facebook back in 2017, right? I deleted them because one, they weren't serving me in any purpose, and two, especially with Snapchat, I would, people would be posting on their ad friends, right? once upon a time, people would post on their stories and their feeds and stuff, right? And I wouldn't view them. And then um, I'm trying to remember, it caused some problems, like not problems, but it caused people to start DMing me, like messaging me, and asking like people would explicitly text me in the chat, you didn't view my story. Just would say that out of nowhere, and I would ignore him because like I I'm not gonna, I don't have to view your stuff. I don't care. And that happened with different people, and I'm sure these people knew each other, and a lot of them were from my school. And I hope they're all doing good. By the way, no hate on them at all. But it got to a point where and I didn't post anything anyway because if you're like me, you keep your life private. That's what we have to do. Keep our head down, look busy, stay out of the way, keep our life private. Everywhere, out there, in the home, in our car, you know? And so I just got rid of it. So that's, if you have social media out there, which I'm sure a lot of you probably do, because a lot of people do. That's just, I'm saying, right? I'm putting that out there. Let me know. Let me know if you experience that too. People will just pop out of nowhere and say stuff to you. It's just like when I go in public, people pop out of nowhere and just want to say stuff. Now, maybe it's because they're attracted to my light and they want to have a conversation. I'm not talking about those times. I'm talking about times where I feel, you know, spiritually under, and people, I feel that spirit on them. It's not good. That's what I mean. I don't mean the times when, the person behind you in the line in the store is um uh saying you look like someone he used to know, and then you guys start talking. That's amazing, you know. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who just blatantly just want to start something with you. Like, why are you doing this? Or strangers, if you're like who are looking at you, like out of nowhere, they'll keep asking, has this happened to you? Let me know. People are like, uh, are you okay? And then you answer, yeah, just like anyone else, right? And I've seen this happen before to other people. And then the people, they won't stop there. They'll just keep going. Like, you don't look okay. And I'm like, at that moment, you just give them silence. But that's what I'm saying is those spirits are not of God. So I'm going to leave it there. You have a good one. Take care. Have a blessed day.